Hello everyone, it's me, Maya, and welcome to my channel. Today is that time again, boys and girls. I'm going to be doing my October wrap up. Now, this month was a really good month for reading for me, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there was a readathon halfway through the month, or sometime during the month. I did Dewey's readathon this year, and so I was able to read a lot more books than I probably would have read otherwise. I love me some readathons. They help me with my reading so much. So before I keep on going on and on as I do, let's just get started. The first book I read was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Now I don't have that book anymore to show you because it was a library book. I enjoyed the book. I will admit it wasn't spectacular for me. It wasn't fast paced, but it was a good book and I read it to the end and I do want to know what happens next. I think I am getting used to the fact that not every book has to have something happening every 2 seconds, and not every book has to be so fast paced and something happening. I think it's good to have those books that are just something you can just spend your time with and something that you can breathe through. I love how it sets you up for the next book, which is very, very well done. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to read more of the books, unless there's some other books that get thrown in that I may be more interested in reading. The next book I read was the Millennium Snow series. Now these are graphic novels or these are actually mangas, which are Japanese graphic novels, and I read them probably sometime in high school, and I loved them, and I didn't realize that there were more to the series until recently when I went to the library. So I saw that Volume 3 and Volume 4 were at the library, and I'm like, I guess that means I have to read the whole series again. So I spent the entire week marathoning the series. I read the first two, which were the ones that I own, and then 3 and 4 was a dual volume package that I got from the library. This is a story about Chiyuki, who has this terminal heart illness, and she knows she's gonna die. And every year she looks forward to the first snow. And you also have Toya, who is this vampire, this reluctant vampire who does not want to take someone's blood. And Chiyuki finds out that his blood or their union would prolong her life, and then she would be able to live longer or live forever. But Toya is not as enthused about that idea, and he doesn't want to curse his mate to that lifestyle. And the whole series is about the other characters that they interact with, as well as the issue of, is it okay for him to prolong her life? Is it okay for her? Can she really be for him in their long life? So it's a really interesting story there. Of course, I enjoyed the series. It is probably one of my favorite mangas, and I just really enjoy it. The next book I read was Nimona. Nimona was good. I think Nimona was a lot better than I expected it to be. I always love when a book surprises me, and it's a lot better than I expected it. This was a book that is very heavy in the good versus evil sort of conversation. But what I enjoyed about it is that it gives you more than just this person is definitely good and this person is definitely evil. It's a question of, do we really know what is good and who is evil? So it gives you a lot to think about. The next book was A Very Easy Death by Simone de Beauvoir. And this is a story of this woman talking about the last days of her mother before her mother died. And it's really interesting because it's a true account as far as I know, but it reads like a novel. So it's just like, it kind of blurs the line between whether this is truth or fiction or not. It's like, it kind of makes me forget that this is a true story. And I think what I love about it is that it kind of breaks down the barrier between fiction and nonfiction, because I'm not a big fan of nonfiction works. But this kind of, the fact that it reads like a story and it reads like something I'm more familiar with, it's like, maybe I can find more books like this. the third book and the final book I read during the readathon, and it was as the readathon was ending, was Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And oh my goodness, this book is weird. And it's so much different from the movie. It's not too different, but it's interesting how the book differs from the movie that I've known for as long as I can remember. It's very interesting to see the scenes that weren't in the original, wasn't in the movie, and why it was taken out of the movie, and why it works as a book, because it works very well as a book. It's interesting that it just works so well, and it's so weird, and it's so adventurous, and I really did enjoy it. The next book I read was Perry's Killer Playlist by Joe Schreiber. Now, this is a sequel to a book I read earlier in the year, Beauvoir, Crazy European Chick. And I love how Joe Schreiber continues the story, but doesn't make it exactly like the first book. I will say that the playlist kind of didn't really fit with the scene that it preceded. So I kind of don't really understand how the thought process was with that. It was the same thing with the college questions from the first book. They didn't really fit exactly. But as far as the book itself, I applaud his style. It got so much better than the first book. It's just like there was something so much more mature about the character, so much more mature about his growth. So you can definitely see that Perry has gotten older and that he's changed. I think we did good with reading. Wait, I forgot a book. Um, Sad Cypress by Agatha Christie. It's a Hercule Poirot novel, and it's about this lady named Eleanor Carlisle who has been accused of murdering Mary something. And what's interesting about this book is that you really don't know whether Eleanor did it or not. You can kind of guess that, of course, she didn't if she's going to call in Hercule Poirot, but it gets a little suspect. So it's interesting to see how the story played out and how the murder was solved, and kind of seeing who actually played a role in the murdering of the girl. Now I'm going to tell you what I'm currently reading. The book of the rest of the month is going to be Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Now, the only thing I really know about this book is that it's a ragtag group of thugs and thieves who are going for their supreme heist. I think it's if they don't kill each other first, sort of bumping heads and kind of seeing what comes together. Now, I don't have a TBR for November because I will be doing NaNoWriMo, so I don't know how much time I'm going to have to read, but if I get lucky, I want to read Onyx by Jennifer Armentrout. That's the second book in the Lux series. I also want to read Sea of Shadows. I don't know who that's by, but it's a book I picked up from the library. I was kind of just browsing around and it kind of looked interesting. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you want more of these videos, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!